guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's a blessing to have you guys. Like, thank you guys for subscribing, for watching the videos, for liking, commenting. Like, you guys, you encouraged me. You really motivated me to keep doing this. And yeah, I was really overwhelmed by the response and by the support, and yeah, I'm excited. I'm still excited. Yeah, welcome back. And the topic for today is telling your stories. And it's one also, like, it's one thing that actually also inspired me to start the YouTube channel. It's about sharing stories and talking about my story. And yeah, so let's jump right in. One of the things that I think kind of hinders us from sharing our stories is shame. I think shame plays a big role in our willingness to be vulnerable and to share our stories with others. I think we have this expectation of each other. I think it's mostly it's unspoken expectation. Like, you expect the other person to be perfect and you're not perfect. Like, you kind of project this expectation on them, like, seriously, they wouldn't do that, and they kind of fall short of your expectation, and you're like, oh my god. So we have this tendency to want to be perfect. So if we are not perfect, the areas of our lives that is not perfect, that we are ashamed of, maybe, we kind of don't want to share that part. We just want people to see the Instagram, the Snapchat. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just that oftentimes we are very unwilling to share that part of our lives that we're not necessarily proud of. And sometimes we kind of underestimate what power there is in sharing your stories, the good, the bad, the ugly, the beautiful, and just sharing your experience with each other. A few weeks ago, about 4 weeks ago, I had a friend over. I told her, like, yeah, just come, let's make pizza. I haven't had pizza in a long while, so I invited her over, and we made pizza ourselves. And I remember we're just standing in the kitchen and we're just talking, and I was asking her how her day was and how her week has been, and I was telling her also how mine has been. And all of a sudden, I started talking to her about forgiveness. I didn't know how we actually came to that subject. I remember also, like, a few sentences in telling her about my experience with forgiveness. I was like, I don't know why I'm telling you this, because normally I never tell, like, I don't, that's a part of me I don't willingly open up about, because I have struggled with unforgiveness. I've struggled with not with bitterness, with resentment towards someone that actually I'm supposed to naturally love. Like, this person is someone dear to me, and someone, it's family for me, like that person. And I remember harboring unforgiveness and harboring this hurt in my heart for a very long time towards that person. And I didn't want anything to do with that person. I remember, like, when I started the journey of forgiving that person and letting it go, that hurt, it took me years. It took me like almost 3 years to actually be able to, because I was really hurt. I was really, I was devastated, because like I said, I put this person on this pedestal and expected them to meet that expectation. Like, come on, like, seriously, you have to be perfect. Like, if nobody is perfect, you have to be perfect. And yeah, they disappointed me, and I had to learn to forgive, to let go, and to just take that person the way they are and love them just the way they are. And I was telling my friend about this journey and how God helped me to be able to forgive and to let go, and telling her, I was just talking because she was just listening, and I thought, oh, okay, she's not saying anything, then I'll just keep talking. So I just kept talking, and she was there just listening to me talk and talk and talk about yeah, the whole process for me. And after we finished in the kitchen, we sat down at the balcony, we had good food. Then we went to the living room. I remember she was like, yeah, Nimota, I have to tell you something about myself. I was just looking at her like, I think I know you. I don't think there's anything about you that would kind of shock me. But we sat down there, and for what felt like 3 hours, we were there talking. She was doing the talking this time around, and we both were just crying out our eyes. And she was talking to me about forgiveness, that God has placed it in her heart recently to forgive someone. And she was just telling me about her experience, and the hurt she experienced. And I remember just sitting down there, and I was just crying, and we were both crying. It wasn't like I was just crying, but like, you realize what power your stories, like telling your stories and just being vulnerable and opening up yourself to the right person at the right time could do. And for me, it just motivated me to want to share my story, my struggles, my challenges, and the victories. Like, guys, we need to share our victories also. Like, it's part of life, and the lows, the highs, and every part of it. I think we underestimate what power is behind us being open to our loved ones. Like, I wouldn't encourage you also to kind of just share all of your stories with everyone, but before, I think it's very important to come to a place where your past doesn't hold you bondage. Like, you're not, the shame of your past doesn't stay in your way to connect with someone else, doesn't hinder you to be able to help someone else. He ended up sleeping over at my place, and that night it was powerful. We prayed together, we laughed. That's the funny thing. Like, we cried for like what felt like 3 hours, and afterwards we were laughing, and it was so good. I remember it's one moment that I would always cherish, because I've never had someone open up to me like that way, and I was so grateful. I'm still very grateful for that moment. To be there to just listen. I don't need to be able to help immediately, but to just listen, I think that was all she needed. She needed someone that would open up about their past that they are not necessarily proud of, and that was an invitation for, I think, for her to also open up about an area of her life that she's struggling with and hoping to overcome. And yeah, that was amazing. And I just want to encourage you guys also to be open to sharing your stories, and don't let that shame hold you back. um I was reading a week ago or so. I was reading the story of the woman at the well. You can find that story in John 4, I think. Yeah, John 4. John 4, I think 3 to 30, like verse 3 to 30. And I was reading how she was at the well, trying to get water at the and she met Jesus, and Jesus was at the well waiting for her. And I remember just the conversation. I was reading about the conversation that the both of them had, and Jesus just telling her about her life, and telling her the kind of life she is living, and promising her the living water. And she's listening to that and running off to the city to tell everyone about our encounter with Jesus. I thought, like, this is a woman that doesn't necessarily have a past that she's proud of. Like, I don't think she's the woman that you see on the streets and you want to associate yourself with. She has a really complicated past. She actually has she has been married to 5 men, and she's actually living with a man that isn't her husband at the moment. And at that the time that the story was written, that was frowned on by the society. And I believe that she's also someone that no one wants to have anything to do with her. And she just put in that shame behind her and run into the city, and just talking about this encounter she had, and telling the people that she believes she has encountered the Messiah. And like, I thought to myself, like, I'm so so thankful that she's courageous to just talk about our encounter regardless of what people think about her, regardless of our past, regardless of our shame. And by her just sharing a story, like people left the city and went to the world to encounter Jesus for themselves, and they ended up being saved, and Jesus ended up staying for a long time, like for a while at the city. And that kind of, I just thought of, like, I'm so thankful that she was just courageous, and I just want to encourage you guys also to be courageous, to share your story, and to open up about things you're not necessarily proud of, and to inspire others also with that. Like sometimes we get carried away with the social media and everything. I think social media is, it's good. You could use it really wisely. If you use it wisely, like, it's good. But sometimes we start comparing ourselves to others, and we start having this picture that we have to be perfect, and no one is perfect. That is something I've come to realize. Like, nobody, like, we are just trying to figure this thing out. Like, life is sometimes a struggle, and it has challenges. Everyone has daily life challenges, and we're just trying, guys. We're just trying. And I just want to encourage you guys in your trying to live life the best way you can, to leave your shame behind you and share your story, inspire people. Yeah, guys, that is it for this video. I'm so excited. Thank you for watching this video. I hope it inspires you, and have a lovely week ahead. And make sure you're drinking tea. Like, tea is very essential, guys. Drink tea. Tea will help you. Alright, guys, bye.